Thoughts of the governor-elect of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu, but what does the governor of Imo State think? Listen to what he had to say when we caught up with him in Abuja.
You see, first and foremost, we must believe in this country. Does a typical Nigerian really believe in this country? The answer is no. Can we get everybody to think Nigeria and believe that we have no other nation but this and have passion? That's the first way to start. That's the change we're looking about. Are Nigerians willing to make sacrifice? This is the change we're talking about. So if we can make sacrifice, then they're talking about new leadership now. Can we develop a new political will, devoid of sentiments of where you come from, tribe? Because somebody is from my village, he must be a billionaire even when he does not know anything. And then they're leaving somebody because he's not from my village, he has to be poor because he's not from me. These are some of the basic things that are our problems. See, Nigeria's problem is not even much. Our problem is that we don't even understand our problems. Our problem comes from leadership, the vision and the passion to get things done. And that's what we see in the man, Muhammad Buhari. I see in him the passion. The vision is there to display for us. But the passion, you can see it. In fact, that was dramatized the third time he contested. I said he was contemplating not to run again, and he wept. He could see the passion they had for this country. I mean, you have to love a thing to do well with it. So these are the changes. So when you come about, because sometimes people treat the symptoms without treating the disease. The symptoms of bad governance is lack of power, is corruption, is lack of employment. These are all symptoms of disease of poor leadership. So if you address the issue of leadership, all things will be given.
Do not make promises that you cannot keep. Those are words of General Muhammadu Buhari, the president-elect. What are your immediate interpretation of what he's aiming at?
And if you watch General Muhammadu Buhari, he's very careful making a committal on any issue that he cannot handle. People have tried to ask him questions, and he has tried to narrow them down. Listen, gentlemen, I will handle corruption. The insurgents and bloodletting will stop. And when I stop corruption, power will come up, and there will be wealth creation and employment will follow. That's a vision. That's a man who knows what he wants to do. But not that I will build bridges in every ocean, and I will provide this, and I will build castle in the air, and all that, which doesn't materialize. These are merely political deceits. For you to be taken serious by people, take the view of what you can do, and go on it and bounce, and then people can believe you.
Let's look at the southeastern part of Nigeria, where you are seen as a cardinal individual to play the politics as well as economic growth in the southeast. What are the plans you have in terms of integration to try to bring up and emancipate the southeast?
You see, I can speak for him, because I'm not governor of the southeast. So I'm limited to that my cubicle called Imo State. And that's where I have a say. But unfortunately, we're not able to have a common Southeastern economic program. It would have been better for all of us.
Are you going to work on that?
Definitely, if I have the cooperation of my colleagues. That's the most important thing, because this incorporated political party has a way of tearing us apart. And we've not learned when to stop politics and when to embrace governance. Nigeria drives politics into governance, and that's the danger of most of our failures. Because politics is only a vehicle to get you to a place of governance. Once you transit to governance, then you're a new person. Then you must begin to do things differently, devoid of only your party interests, and think about the collective will of the people. This is what I mean by governance. So for the Southeast, as we have got a complete roadmap for Southeast economic program, and we have a connecting rails and road network, because we're our neighbors. Now we have extended even to the South-South. For instance, I made a case once. I said, these billions of dollars and naira are being spent on NDDC, for which there's nothing to write home about it. Rather, it is a way to settle people who believe they are party loyalists, and you have billions of naira wasted and billions of contracts wasted and none done. If no kind of money would have used to say, okay, let the Southeast and South-South have a common railway program, today would have been a different nation altogether.
I do not believe, though, that there are parties or governors within the Southeast zone that will not agree to a proposed master plan that will emancipate.
Remember, even now we have APC governors, you have PDP governors. There's no meeting point. So unless we're able to come together, that's my prayer, that we should come together and know when to stop political party politics and embrace governance and work together as Nigerians, irrespective of party affiliation. And when that happens, it will help all of us. So, but if that be, let me tell you, the Igbos are the commercial nerve center of this nation. Believe me. And I do not know why we can't have a mini China in the southeast or a mini Dubai in the southeast. They have the capacity. They have the ingenuity. They have the people who can do this. They have the resources. But galvanizing them together has been a problem. And that's where governance needs to give direction. Now, if we're able to have that, first of all, we will pursue the common goal. Take, for instance, the international cargo airport in Imo State. Would have been a starting point to commercialize the area. The free trade zone, we have built industrial parks. But imagine where 5 governors come together and sign a common MOU. We have driven China down here, or Indians, or Turkish, and everything to come for in the industrial revolution. It is possible. But when you look at the little resources that come to each state, and they look at your financials, you might not get that kind of attention like you will get if you're all together. That's the kind of roadmap I'm thinking about. And look at the agriculture. Virtually everything we have is agricultural based in the southeast. We don't even labor. We don't need fertilizer in most cases to get this grown. Take, for instance, the palm plantation. In Imo State, the palm plantation of Imo Palm Plantation, I made 3.2 billion from an Irish company that is now working on the place on lease. You can imagine if we have 20 of those. And it's possible. Malaysia today is thriving hard because of palm. And palm in the southeast, you don't need to plant it. In fact, they force themselves for you. If you don't take time and put it in your parlor, your living room, after 6 years, it grows. So these are natural gifts that has not been harnessed. So that's why I call that what we have in the southeast is apparent poverty, which does not reflect any practical realities, because there's no truth in our poverty. Our poverty is simply out of ignorance. There's nothing like poverty. And that's what we're suffering from. Now, if only in Nigeria, or probably the southeast, as you're taking off the plane, you look at the ground, you see all bushes everywhere, trees everywhere. There's nothing cultivated. So our Land Use Act, we want to revisit it.
What current policies do you feel in the areas of trade and commerce that has limited instead of enhancing trade and commerce within the southeast zone of Nigeria?
Well, you see, some of these things are made theoretical. We have a lot of academic exercise, professorial attachment to our economic policies in Nigeria. And often than not, I hear people try to put in Nigeria what Adam Smith have said about economics, without understanding that environmental factor plays a key role. So they bring all kinds of foreign economic theory to our traditional economists, and the two of them are not agreeing with one another. That's the poverty we experience. Take, for instance, they say in economics that when prices go up, demands go down. In Nigeria, it's not true. When prices go up, demand goes up to catch it fast because they don't want it to go higher. How will you bring that kind of economic theory to Nigeria? Does it work? So this paperwork of economic theory doesn't make sense. They tell you about World Trade Organization. Yes, I believe in World Trade Organization, but for you to have a World Trade Organization, you must have a local trade organization first to be able to meet World Trade Organization, so you can have what is called the balance of trade.
Governor Okorocha, I want to thank you so much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us on the roadmap.
Thank you.
Many thanks indeed.
Very strong views, but how well will this play out for the benefit of the king? The electorate will be seen in the next 4 years. Do join us again, same time next week, as we shift our focus to other regions of the country. This is Roadmap. I am Gimba Umar, and bye for now.